Welcome grade 3s to our final week of multiplication in our schedule. Today is a catch-up day. Tomorrow is multiplying by 1 and 0. Wednesday is multiplying by 2 and 5. And Thursday and Friday are practice days. Over the last few weeks, we've been showing multiplication using pictures, equal groupings, and arrays. But today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to make multiplication a little bit easier. Here we have our multiples of 1. When you multiply by 1, the answer is always the other factor. So 5 times 1, the answer is 5. It's always the other number. 1 times 4, the answer is 4. So it's always the other number. When you are multiplying by 0, the answer is always 0. 7 times 0, 0. 0 times 3, 0. These are two rules that will make multiplication really easy. Remember, when you multiply by 1, the answer is always the other number. When you multiply by 0, the answer is always 0. I like to relate this to Halloween. If you went to 7 houses and it was late at night and they had 0 candy left, how many would you have? 0, right? So you can choose, there's a few questions down here to do, and then students can choose which of these two pages. This one has a lot of questions, but if you put a timer on and challenge your child and say, how many can you do in 5 minutes or 10 minutes? You might be surprised how many they can do. Remember, when you multiply by 0, the answer is always 0. So I can see a bunch here right away that I know the answer to. And when you multiply by 1, the answer is always the other number. So this would be a 9, this would be a 5, a 10. Oh, here we have a 0, so the answer is 0. When you are doing multiplying by 2s and 5s, when 2 is a factor, you're basically skip counting by 2s or doubling your numbers. So if you know your skip counts or your doubles, 2s can be pretty easy. Here we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So 2 times 4, we had to skip count by 2 4 times. So let's try skip counting by 2 4 times. 2, 4, 6, 8. And the answer is 8. I can do that with my fingers, but if you want, you could even use a number line or a 120 board, and you could count them, skip count by 2s. Now, when you are doing multiplying by 5s, you are skip counting by 5s. So in this case, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. You multiplied by 5, and you skip count by 5 4 times. 5, 10, 15, 20. I've shown this one on the 120 board. 5, 10, 15, 20. I've skip counted by 5s 4 times. Down here, there are some examples to kind of review what we have already done. So in this example, you need to say how many groups are there? So there are 4 groups. So 4 groups of, so 4 times, how many in each group? 2 equals. Now you need to solve the question, right? And remember, we're basically skip counting. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Our answer is 8. Okay. If you want to use a number line, right up here, we have an example. Let's try this one here. So this one is 5 times 4. We can think of this as 5 jumps of, or 5 times 2, 5 jumps of 2. 2, 2, 2. Oh, how many jumps did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have did 5 jumps, and each time I added 2 more. And what was my answer? 10. The rest of the week is just multiplication questions, just to practice. So if you want, you can draw pictures, you can draw arrays, you can use some of the tips that we talked about. Oh, there's a 0 right there. That would be a 0. Yep. So you can choose a couple of these sheets each day to just go through and just practice your times table. See you next week.